Welcome to Outdoor Ed with Dr. T, and this is a new show on CPL Radio, and I'm really excited to get this going, and we are honored to have Dr. T herself at the mic, and we're not going to call you Dr. T all the time, but we should probably introduce you and what you do, and Outdoor Ed, what does that mean? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, well, welcome. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. So my name is Thelma Heidelbaker. I am the scientist in residence at the Cedarburg School District, and I work for River Edge Nature Center. So this is a really cool position that I'm in. I kind of get to do so many of the things that I love to do, working outdoors, working with students and kids, teaching about our valuable natural resources outside, and I guess the big goal of what I do in this really unique position is to facilitate outdoor education. That's the name of the series within the Cedarburg School District. So I work with teachers. I work with all the really amazing outdoor spaces that the Cedarburg School District has. We've got school forests. We've got prairies. We've got big open grassland areas. And so I work with the teachers to try and get them to get their students outside. And I like to look for new opportunities to use my experiences or the teachers' interests to get their kids outdoors in new and novel ways. So just to back up a little bit here, so some of my passions and why I was really excited about this position is I'm an entomologist by training. That's why I go Dr. T.
You like bugs.
I'm a bug doctor.
If a bug has a cold, you know who to bring it to.
Yeah, sort of. That's right. So I love insects, and they make the world go around, even if you don't like them. There is a lot that insects are responsible for, from healthy environments and pollination and soil health and all those different things. So I like to incorporate bugs into a lot of the things that I do, but realize not everybody necessarily is that excited about them. But in that, with this position and with me starting last year here, some really cool, unique opportunities came up. And one of them is one of the things I really want to highlight today. It is this opportunity that came up over at Westlawn Elementary School, one of the many schools I work with. And Westlawn has this really cool community partnership, I guess, with the church next door, with Faith Lutheran Church. And the students at Westlawn Elementary have been working with the church alongside each other to help develop and upkeep their woods that's there. They call it the Westlawn Woods. So the students go out there, they help clean up the woods, they help mulch trails, they helped create their outdoor classroom that's over there, which is called Sanders Circle. The kids get outside. They get to learn about the natural environment. Really neat. The church is super supportive of it, and it just ends up being this really amazing learning outdoor education opportunity. And the kids will tell you, I got to help mulch the trails. I got to do this hard work. And
my kids never talk like that.
Well, maybe not all of them do, but I definitely had students that were telling me how excited they were to be a part of it. So this is something that's been ongoing at Westlawn for quite a few years now. And so this past spring, a new opportunity arose where Faith Lutheran Church has the advantage of having a large property. With it also comes not only just the woods, but they also have a very large lawn. And they have been looking for years to try and give more value to this lawn and plus reduce their need for mowing.
And so it's basically this giant patch of grass that they're stuck with.
It's a giant patch of grass.
Just didn't know what to do with. Okay, interesting.
Exactly.
Okay.
And who really wants to mow all the time? So they decided to look into creating something a little bit more valuable ecologically to help support birds, bees, butterflies, whatever it may be. And I just happened to come along at the right time when they were trying to figure out what they were going to do. And they wanted to put in a prairie. Well, my experience was working with prior to this position, was working for a pollinator conservation organization, putting in pollinator habitat across the country. So this unique opportunity to be able to help a church that also is very in close partnership with a school that I work with was kind of a win-win situation. So starting this summer, we have been working on getting a 2-acre pollinator habitat filled with native wildflowers to support pollinators, butterflies, birds, bees, whatever you may have it, right next to the church. And it is a really amazing project called Faith Community Pathways. And what's really unique about it is the church really wants to engage the community around. So that includes Westlawn Elementary, as well as all the residents that live around the church, and the city of Cedarburg, or anybody else who wants to come. So this really neat project is ongoing. Last week, wildflowers got planted by me and some of the other people that they hired there at the church. And
you can plant in this kind of
Yes.
chilly, it's unpleasant.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah, you'd think most plants would not want to be growing at this time of the year. Well,
Yeah.
they're actually not growing, but when it comes to native wildflower seeds, the kinds that grow in the prairies that we have here in the Midwest, this is the ideal time to actually seed them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Because a lot of these seeds, they drop from the plants in the fall, and they need to go through a cold period in order for germination to even occur. So one of the plants that people are probably most familiar with is the milkweed. So milkweed
Sure, absolutely.
is the plant that is the host plant for the monarch butterfly.
Right.
Yeah, so milkweed.
Bees seem to like them too.
Oh, bees do, butterflies do, hummingbirds.
My kids were devastated because they had heard that in school themselves at a younger age, and they said we have to put milkweed in to get monarchs. All we ever got were bees, and they were terrified. It's okay, we're still doing a good thing.
Yeah. Well, the butterflies, the caterpillars of the monarch butterflies, they eat the leaves, so they're not usually even at the flowers. So the
Okay.
flowers attract everything else, which is really neat.
Yeah.
But those seeds for the milkweed can't grow unless they go through at least a month of cold period. So that's why it becomes so key to plant a lot of these wildflower seeds this time of the year, which is actually ideal. Very strange, I know.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So you plant them now. They go through the cold winters that we have here, and then next spring, boom, things start
rock and roll,
to
yeah.
grow. That's right. It starts to rock and roll. So we have this amazing opportunity where there are 2 acres of these wildflower prairie plants that are getting planted over there. And we are incorporating in all of the students over at Westlawn Elementary in helping plant the rest of this. So a lot of the seeds got planted last week, but the students from Westlawn are going to come out and help plant the milkweed seeds.
Excellent.
Yeah,
You've got
so-
quite a crew,
That's right.
extensive crew.
This week, every student at Westlawn Elementary, there's several hundred kids there, are going to come out and plant a handful of milkweed seed and maybe some other seed. I've got a whole handful of different kinds of species of wildflowers that they can help plant.
Yeah, I was all excited. I thought you brought me some snacks, but apparently
Yeah.
I better not eat these.
I have a prop in front of me of some of the wildflower seeds. And wildflower seeds are hugely diverse. Some of them are fluffy.
Yeah.
Some of them are big. Some of them are small. It all kind of depends on what different species they are. And so the students will get to hold these seeds and look at them up close
Yeah.
and see like the different textures, the different shapes, how different seeds will disperse.
Yeah,
because
sure.
Some of them go through the air. Some drop to the ground through gravity. All different ways.
And this bucket's ready to go. I mean, this is from bucket to ground, and we'll have some life.
Yep, that's right.
Fantastic. I don't know if there's any pre-treatment or anything that you
Nope.
had to do.
No.
Just,
Yeah.
Just go.
And these seeds need to get planted on the surface. They don't need to get worked into the ground. You actually don't want to work them into the ground because nature takes its course. The freezing and thawing cycle that we're going through right now,
Sure, yeah.
it's actually perfect because today it's not raining. We plant seeds today, tomorrow, and the rain will bring the seeds right down into the soil to get that really good soil contact. And then
That's my kind of planting because it doesn't sound like it requires a whole lot of work.
exactly.
That is so my kind of planting.
Yeah. In fact, the landscapers who were working on this project were a little perplexed at how easy this
little
was to
put out.
plant, even though the seed is very expensive. I
Sure.
was like, but really, I was like, this is nature. This is what happens.
Yeah.
Drops
Yeah.
to the ground. They take care of it themselves. As long as we put the seed where we need it to go, we'll be good to go.
That is fantastic. So, after this planting goes on, what other in the future? What does the future hold for this particular patch? Is that I'm assuming there's a multi-tiered process that's going on here.
Yeah.
so.
Do you mean for management or how we take
Sure.
care of
Yeah.
it?
Well, starting with everything, the
Well,
basics. Yeah.
We'll start with the management. So next year, some of these seeds will grow. And one of the questions I often get is, well, are we going to see a lot of flowers next year? A lot of these plants are perennials, so they grow over multiple years. And so honestly, in the first year, there will be some that will flower, but a lot of them are going to sit and kind of look a little dormant. But what they're doing is growing underground.
Aha.
Because in any prairie, most of the plant structure is actually underground. It's not above ground. We see very little of it. So there are some prairie plants that can grow down 10, 20, 30 feet with their root systems, even though we only see a couple feet above ground. And so that's what I tell the kids. I was like, what they're doing right now is putting their roots down for long-term sustainable growth. And so in 2 years, we're going to have a really amazing wildflower patch.
That's
but next year, it won't be quite as wonderful as it will be 2, 3, 4, even 5 years from now.
Picture it in your imagination, kids.
Yes,
next year.
That's right. And it'll still be beautiful next year because there'll be things growing as opposed to right now, which it's a giant mud pit, honestly. There's not a whole lot out there to see.
We're used to that here in Wisconsin. So what else have you got cooking as we're running out of time here? But I wanted to, which is a shame because this sounds like we could, and I'm glad this will be a regular thing because you have a lot going on. Is there anything just this week or the next couple weeks you have going on here that we should know about?
Yeah, well, one of the other things that I'm doing and trying to engage the community in all this outdoor education is I have an Outdoor Learning in the Burg speaker series that I'm offering at all different locations around Cedarburg. We had the first one, which actually highlighted this Faith Community Pathways project and talking about the importance of pollinators. The next one is going to be talking about how to get your families engaged with outdoor activities in the dark in Wisconsin in like December, because who really wants to go outside when it's dark out? So it's actually going to be right here at the library.
Oh, fantastic.
And yeah, so that'll be just a really cool opportunity, I think, for people if they want to look for some ideas on what to do with your kids when it's dark out.
Well, and just to yank the screens out of their hands is a feat unto itself. So is there a date and time for that then? Are you not sure yet?
Yes, there is, but I don't want to get it wrong. I want to say
okay.
Yeah.
Well, and you can check the cedarburglibrary.org calendar because I'm sure it'll be on our calendar, so that's a good way of finding out. Well, this is all fantastic and exciting. I'm so glad you're on our net waves here. This is wonderful. Is there any way anyone can reach you if they have questions or anything? Do you have a web presence they can see, kind of keep tabs on what you're doing? Since obviously it's fun to.
Yeah, you can look me up at the Cedarburg School District. My name is Thelma Heidel Baker. Usually Dr. T doesn't show up there.
Not yet.
But you can look there. I'm also on the River Edge Nature Center page, so you can reach me there as well.
You doing about half and half, like half at the school system, half there?
Nope, I'm full-time at the Cedarburg School District.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. That's great. Well, we are really lucky to have you because these are exciting projects and necessary projects, so that's great. So thank you for coming by, and come back next week. We're going to do this on a weekly basis, and you can find it on the CPL Radio podcast area, or you can find us also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I'm getting used to this, as you can see. We just started expanding this week, so so wherever you like to listen to podcasts, you can find us. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.